Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Transformers Kingdom line. This is Cheetor, and Cheetor is, of course, an update to the classic Beast Wars character. Now, I got this figure, I do believe, off of Amazon.com. I know it's a lot of people have already reviewed it, and I'm just getting to it now. And yes, I'll be stopping with the little funny clickbaity titles, especially since with the last one with Air Razor, I screwed it up, and Susan Blue was not the voice of Air Razor. But so yeah, we're starting off in Cheetah Mode. Although I thought it was leopards that have spots, but whatever. It's a nice Cheetah Mode. As with the previous generation's update to Cheetor, I think this design kind of merges the original Beast Wars figure as well as the Transmetal 1 version, because it's a little bit on the lanky side. Now, in terms of all of that stuff, there's really not much you can do in Cheetah Mode. There is some articulation. You have some outward movement here, but doing so reveals those blue joints, and they're on ball joints, so they can rotate in and out like that. You have elbows, the paws, all four paws are on ball joints, and coming back to the legs here, you start moving them. You do end up in a situation where you could push the feet out, but you can get some lower down looking articulated poses, stuff like that. So what I think we'll do right now is pause, pause, and and come back for the transformation. Okay, I went ahead and gave myself a little space. Cheetor's fairly simple to transform, all things considered. First thing you want to do is just pull out the tail. This is my one complaint with the figure, is that it actually comes with a tail whip as opposed to a blaster. The original version 1 of Cheetor came with a blaster. It was the Transmetal version that came with a tail whip, and if you notice, we'll see this more in robot mode, the way it's curved, the blade weapon, the blade part, which would be the weapon, kind of sits awkwardly, and stuff like that, but whatever. Next up you want to do is go ahead and straighten the legs out if they haven't really already straightened themselves out. Go ahead, fold up the cheetah legs, and that will basically pop the feet forward and allow you to swing them down, and you basically have the cheetah legs already done. Now, in terms of coming in and doing the rest of the figure, you really can fold the paws up. Some of you can leave them out, but just get them out straight like that. Then come in underneath. Oh, almost forgot. Open up these side panels here on the side. And then go ahead and split this whole section. Open it up nice and wide, nice and big right there. Then go ahead and rotate the legs downward. Now, I thought they actually pegged together, but they don't. But most people say you crisscross them like that. So in the packaging, they're obviously not like that. Believe me, I gotta tell you, with this Kingdom packaging, it's like they wedge the figures, like the whole back, through this cardboard slit that barely fits, and they have them levitating halfway in the packaging. It's like they could save a couple bucks and probably pass it on to us if they actually made the packaging smaller to fit the figures. But I digress. Where the hand is, you want to rotate that panel around, so now the fist is facing inward. Unpeg the forearm from the inside of the shell and just rotate it. And while you're doing that, go ahead and get it out of the way, because you're going to have to finagle. You're going to need the space to finagle some stuff. Do the same thing here. Straighten that out. Now we're going to come up to the cheetah head, open up the mouth, all the way, just like so. There's a tab there and a little thingy on the tongue, and you're going to come in. Now, a lot of people have mentioned that this tab breaks off. I've transformed the figure like twice now and it hasn't happened. But you're going to accordion it up and basically shove the head down, and what'll happen is that tab I just showed you goes under the neck of Cheetor, whereas tab here on the torso goes up into the cheetah's mouth. You can come in now and close up these panels. They will peg into the side. Lift up Cheetor's robot head a little to allow you to rotate it around into position. Bring the arms down. Make sure those shoulder bits are pushed back into the shell, although you can use them for some articulation. The joints on mine are a little stiff, just in case you were wondering, and go ahead and start straightening things up. For some reason, there's like the swivel here kind of locks right there, and I don't want to force it, so there you go. There's Cheetor in its robot mode, and this is what I was talking about with the whip. You put it in so the blade is facing forward and it's curved on. So it's meant to just be around like this, like a normal whip. Whip, whip, cool whip. And there you go. And there's, a little look at Cheetor's head. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. It does have all the articulation you would expect. Universal joints at the shoulders, and you have that extra joint here to bring the arms forward. Swivel at the bicep, swivel at the wrist, single jointed elbow, single jointed knee. There is a waist swivel. There's a little bit of a skirt flap right there. So, yeah, it's pretty much all works out. And, I mean, the figure comes up clean in terms of... in terms of kibble and stuff like that. Kibble. Cats eat kibble. Man, the puns just make themselves. I mean, you do have this leg thing, but you can do with it whatever you want. Yeah, other than that, I think it's a fine figure. I would have preferred having a blaster, as I mentioned. But again, they're trying to, I think, homage two versions of Cheetor. And also, as I find myself having to remind people, this is not an update to the Beast Wars figure. Yeah, I mean, it is, but it isn't. This is meant to represent Cheetor as it's going to appear in the Kingdom cartoon on Netflix. So you have that. So yeah, that's about it. We'll pause. We'll come back for my final thoughts. All right, so all in all, I'd say Cheetor is a fine figure. Granted, again, I'm not a fan of Beast Wars, but I do have the Son of Kong reissue, or first issue, I don't really remember how that worked out, of the original Beast Wars toy, and I thought it was great. It was really fun, simple transformation, great articulation for the time, and it was a fun fiddle toy. So definitely, if you're a fan of Beast Wars, as I know many people are, go ahead, pick this figure up, which you've probably already done, or as I know many people have done, they went ahead and got the Netflix version, which is the darker blue instead of this pastel sky blue. Either way, it's a good figure. Just be careful with that tab in the neck, which I'm sure you guys already know about. So, if you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel is one that should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, please consider signing up for my Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. Hyperlink in the description below, and a little card here in the corner, which, as I said before, YouTube fixed the problem, and now I can working again. But as I always say, if you can't afford the $1 a month or $12 a year, watching my videos is support enough, because really all you're doing is just, little minor infrastructure stuff. It's a cherry on top of an already generous sundae, if that works for you. Other than that, this is your old pal Chuck, long-winded and pointless for over 10 years. For Cheetor, we will see you next time.